How to design and publish own form. We will now create new request for support form with form and workflow editor. Let's create empty form and give it a name. Name will be request for support form. OK. Now we have empty form. Let's again look at our case study. We see that customer support handles Margaret. This means that we will set publish to property to Margaret. She will now be able to create new instances of the form when she receives phone call or email from customer. Daniel, Quality Manager, is also interested in customer requests and he needs to verify that everything is okay with quality of the delivered goods and services. We will set broadcast receiver's property to Daniel, to keep him informed. Once Margaret closes our request, we need the form to stay in Margaret's database, so we will set final step property to Margaret. Now, let's add some fields to the form. We will add new group or repeater to form and name it request. Groups are containers for fields and other groups, and you can set permission which user can edit or fill out specific group. It is recommended that all fields are in groups. We will add one field to identify customer name and contact information. Type of field is text. Let's name it customer. You can also add description and tooltip for fields, but in this demo we will leave default values. Let's add another field to our group, this time with multi-line option checked. This is for customer request details and description. It is also text type. We will name it details. We will also need to add signature and date for Margaret, so she can sign the form. Signature and date are types of fields. When user clicks on them, they are filled out with current user and date respectively. Now that we are able to receive request, Margaret needs to do something about it and eventually close it. We will then add another group, name it actions taken. We will need to add unlimited number of actions to form, since we don't know in advance what will it take to close request. So we need it to be marked as repeater. Repeater groups are used to implement what is usually empty grid on paper forms. Every actions needs to have description, signature, and date. Let's add them to our repeater group. Add text field and named it description. Let it also be multi-line so we can describe our action taken. We also need to add specific fields for signature and date. Field type for signature is user signature. Field type for date is timestamp. Now we can preview how will our form look to initiator. In upper right part of screen we can choose users extracted from forms properties. Note that there is add command to add multiple action records. We can now test adding and removing action records. We can add action. Another. Then remove one action. Remove another. That's it. Now we can save our form to published folder. Difference from pre-published folder is that published folder should always be ready for publish, so no editing is allowed. You need to return form to pre-published to be able to edit form. From published folder, we are ready to publish our first form. Now we can click Create Packages to generate packages. After that, we click Publish Packages, the package will be published and sent to Margaret. OK, we did it. Now we can switch to Margaret. Go to Settings tab. Switch to Margaret. Go to Filler tab. Filler is main tab for users when working with Data Chief. Click Send and Receive and she will receive our form. Data Chief is now connecting to shared IMAP account and receives published form. Let's check if it works. We create instance of the form. Let's say that Margaret has received request for support over the phone. She fills the form. Customer is called My Winery. Let's say it's about a problem with delivered plugs for barrels. Margaret will describe the problem. Delivered plugs don't fit. Then she signs the form. We need timestamp. And now she's working to solve the request. Let's say that she has taken necessary actions. She analyzed the problem. She found that purchasing process needs to be changed and has already made necessary changes in organization. She can now submit finished form. When she submits the form, Daniel, our quality manager, will be notified since he is set as broadcast receiver. Data Chief again connects to IMAP account and sends copy of form to Daniel. Margaret is set as final step, so finished forms shows up in her Data Collection tab, sub-tab Collected Data. Here she can filter her database, export forms to comma-separated values format, print the form to PDF, or look at specific form details. I think we have covered basics here. We are done.